One of the strangest stories about otherworldly events. The story of a gas station on the edge of a small town in America is told by a woman on Reddit. When I was 12 years old, my parents and I were returning home from the amusement park when my father pointed to the amount of gas left in the car and said that we should wait at the nearest gas station and fill up. We entered a very dark and long road at 10 o'clock on a Tuesday in the summer of 2001, and we saw a shop and then a gas station next to it. My father entered the parking area for refueling cars and told my mother to stop filling the gas tank because she was tired, and my mother agreed. After filling the tank of the car, my mother went inside the shop to calculate the amount or maybe buy some food for me. After he entered the shop, suddenly the electricity in the entire area, including the gas station and the shop, was cut off, and my mother came out of the shop with the screams of women and came to the car and shouted at my father to get away from there. We moved away from there and my mother explained everything to us when her breathing returned to normal. He said that after filling the tank of the car, he entered the shop to pay the amount and buy a drink. After going to the refrigerator and taking a can of soda, I went to the checkout. There were 5 people in the shop. One person was standing behind the cash register with his head completely down and motionless, and 4 other people with their backs to me were standing motionless in front of the cash register. I took a step to go to the cash register and count the amount. Suddenly the cashier raised his head and looked at me and said to me in a very thick, scary and scratchy voice, "I talked to God. God has left us alone." And then those 4 people turned to me and suddenly the power went out and I ran out of fear. At first, my father thought that maybe it was a hidden camera, but my mother said that it was not possible that it was a hidden camera. Because as soon as I entered the shop, I felt the smell of death. The smell of a rotting corpse, and the most frightening thing is that none of the 4 people had eyes. The part of their eyes was just a skin and their eyes were empty. My father never believed the story, but I later found out through the internet and research about the story of Benson Pump that the gas station had been abandoned for nearly 4 years and we had actually entered an abandoned Benson Pump. But how did my mother imagine that she ran out of gas and the shop was still stocked? Maybe it was because of the strange and otherworldly environment that we entered, and maybe we traveled in time.